Welcome back to Daredevil Born Again. This is Season 1, Episode 7, Art for Art's Sake. Last time, make sure this is kind of in frame. Last time, so Matt kind of relapsed, basically. I saw a lot of discourse online, and I get what they're saying. A lot of people are, saying, he fell into bad habits, or, he relapsed, and, I get that. In a way, him being Daredevil is an addiction. It is kind of like his sin in a way. But also, he sees it as his, moral imperative to be doing that kind of stuff. So I just think the wording is kind of weird for it. I get what people are trying to say in that it's not a good thing. I mean, he is very violent. And so I can see that sort of anger and that ferocity, especially when we spoke about the duality, the comparison between him and Fisk. And so we are obviously getting comparisons between Fisk, who is very much a violent man, very ferocious, and we're seeing the similarities in what Matt is doing in his fight against Muse. So I get it. I just lighten up, guys. Come on. I don't know, just some of the way that people are talking about it feels like they don't want him to be Daredevil, or it's a bad thing. But it's something that the city, that this world that we're living in needs, that sort of that justice, that without getting too specific, but I do believe that there are some rules that are hard and fast, and some that are flexible. And so at my work, again, without being too specific, sometimes it's okay, well, this is what our normal is, and this is what we always need to do. But sometimes it's it doesn't really matter if we do it 100% today. No, sometimes we can get away with doing it 99% or 90% or even less. But sometimes it is okay, let's just do it the right way. So I get where Matt is of he's trying to do it the 100%. He's trying to do it the legal way. He's trying to do it this way, but it's not working. So let's do it the Daredevil way. And just a note for the future, speaking of work, I am switching back to different schedules. So these videos, today it's not going to be great. I woke up at 2:30 because I was just not feeling it today. Long story short, the videos might be coming out later, so apologies. Just my work schedule. When Daredevil gets released, I will most likely be sleeping, and then I have really quick successive shifts, so I might not have time to watch it in a timely manner. It'll come out. I think we're almost done with the season anyway. I'm pretty sure there's 9 episodes. That feels like the right number. So 2 more episodes, 3 more episodes kind of this one. So let's see where we go from here. Let's jump into this episode and see what happens.
When you look out this window, what do you see?
Starbucks? Voters? 2,500 milliliters, which, I don't know, kind of sounds like a lot, but she was able to point the cops toward Muse's hideout.
But how did she escape?
The girl claims she was rescued
By
by a
Daredevil.
vigilante known as Daredevil. Know that for sure.
Get out.
Oh. Hey, they listen this time. No back talks. That's good. It's improvement from them, from the one dude at least.
He's back.
Yeah. You want him to be back, dude. Come on, don't even lie. Oop. Girl, okay. Not this. I just have a bad feeling. I feel like she's not going to make it through this season.
Is this some sort of self-harm?
No. I'm just dealing with some things.
Foggy and Karen?
Kinda. This all feels... To me, feels like... fake.
I mean...
I love you, Matt.
How long have they been together? Jesus. The last timestamp we had was March, and I think they met around New Year's, so it's been 3 to 4 months. They're already in the love phase, making out in the shower phase.
If he is going after Muse, best thing in the world, is it? Just mean, for the sake of the city.
For the sake of the city.
Well, you have your little anti-vigilante task force now,
He had
so...
me unjustly arrested. He took down my entire business. He's richer than they ever dreamed of. An entire network. You call it
It's like, sorry I asked, jeez. I would bring more than 2 cops here. I'm sorry, like... Oh. What's she doing?
Thanks for meeting me, Mrs. Fisk.
Ooh.
The rules were worth it when you were running things. It was better then. You know that. Time for a change.
Are you asking for my permission or my help? Hi.
Oh, God, here he is! No! Told y'all.
He was 15. Expelled from Phillips Exeter.
Yeah, we...
Commitment.
God.
He was-
How familiar are you with Taekwondo?
I like boxing.
So that's why he can go toe-to-toe with Matt a little bit.
That's all thanks to you.
That is.
I really have to go back to that one episode, because he looks a lot healthier here. Maybe it's just a reshoot thing, but, like... They made him look sickly the other episode.
He's finally starting to see me for who I really am.
Does that mean you've been displaying your art?
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. You've done a good job.
Becoming your true self.
Sir.
can truly be free.
Where'd you get all that blood? There was not that much blood on your finger.
Drawing.
It's you.
You already know, Dr. Clint. There's only one question on your mind right now. Can I make it to the door in time?
Ah. Girl. Like, I get fight, flight, freeze, but that was not the answer. That's the equation.
And hiding things from one another isn't going to get us anywhere. I trust you, and I trust Matt. Be nice if that was a two-way street.
Okay. We'll talk about them at the end, I think. If I remember, if I remember to, I want to talk about those 2 characters. Yeah? Is that her? Yeah. Not. Okay. That's crazy.
Hey!
Matt.
Sketches Heather Glenn, a psychiatrist downtown.
Remind them of that. Don't disappoint me, Paolo.
I won't, sir. None of us will.
Not my therapist. Please. Not even with a gun. What? Ah! That's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. Oh, God.
that?
That's your little canvas. Can't you, like, at least put your arms up? Come on, girl.
You kidnap me and then you're gonna what, shoot me?
Kick him in the balls. Ah! Get out, girl. Run, bitch. Why hasn't she left yet? Come on, girl. All you had to do was run. Oh. Oh my God. Oh no. It sucks because he can't stay here, but I know he wants to, and she's dying. But like, it's almost better if he leaves. Ugh. Yeah.
It looks like someone has stabilized the victim.
Okay, she's stabilized. It says. It says, please.
Well, like you said, it was chaotic up here. Like, hard to see or to tell. Stopped muse. You are heroes. There was no one else up here.
What's his play here? Just swaying public opinion?
Very big carrot and a very big stick.
Are you actually threatening me?
No, with a great man.
I'm sorry, but like I just don't take this dude seriously.
You're gonna be okay.
You killed him, Matt.
You didn't have a choice. I know because I know you.
You think he said my name?
Who?
Daredevil.
Oh. Did he? Did he? I don't remember. It's fucking like open mouth, not smile, like. Just. Uh-oh. Speaking of people going back to their bad habits, is she helping him or is she helping someone take him out? I guess she's helping him. No way. Don't tell me she put a hit out on her husband. Or is this a setup? Did Fisk know? Yep. Damn. I was gonna say he gives off assassin vibes. I'm curious if he's a
Could you call
character.
Vanessa and ask her? She'd like me to bring her home some stolen air.
So my gut is saying that this is a planned thing between Fisk and Vanessa versus Wilson and Vanessa. Whatever. Okay. Because, you know, he kind of making him desperate to the point, you know, good cop, bad cop, basically. You know, Fisk is trying to rough him up and, you know, say, okay, fall in line or else shit's going to happen. And then Vanessa's like, no, it's okay. You know, oh, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's better. We'll see. Okay. If that's the angle, I like it. I like that they're tag team, you know. But I do like the way it's presented, at least of we're unsure how much they're working together right now, Vanessa and Wilson. You know, obviously Wilson could just have a bodyguard on standby, which makes sense. And maybe he had no idea this was going to happen, but he's just like, I'm always prepared for anything kind of thing. But I like to believe that it is part of the plan, you know. He went, you know, they're conspiratorial. They were like, okay, we're going to do a sting operation here where I'll go to the restaurant and Vanessa, you send out a text saying I'm alone and we'll go like that. I like it that way better. Okay, I'm curious what the play is with, I guess because the task force, if they admit that Daredevil was there, then the task force looks inept, right? Because he obviously got away, so maybe that's why they're saying Daredevil wasn't there, all that shit. Because personally, as soon as Heather was the one who shot Muse, I was like, okay, maybe they're going to do a setup where they blame Daredevil for doing vigilante murder, and that's an angle they could play, but no, they're just like, Daredevil wasn't there, period. So I think the only angle I can see is that they're building up the fact of, it's almost a defensive strategy. It's not an offensive strategy at this point. The offensive strategy would have been, again, let's blame it on Daredevil for being a murderer, running around killing people. Yes, it's a serial killer, but like, you know, he can't be shooting up people. But they're doing the defensive strat of, no, our team took down Muse and everything is cool. We're here to protect you. You know, just kind of swaying public opinion towards, you know, we got it handled. We don't need any other mass vigilantes. We're good. We'll see. I think Muse could have made it another episode, but I also, you know, I had called it from the moment they set up the book signing thing. I was like, this scene is going to happen. And I'm pretty sure I called out this exact thing. He was going to take her hostage and Matt was going to save her and all that shit. So, like, I don't know what else there could have been done, but, you know, we have 2 more. I'm just guessing there's 9 episodes. We have like 2 more episodes left. So I'm curious, where do we go from here? Where does, you know, we know a season 2 is greenlit. I don't even know if it's in production yet or pre-production. So obviously there is more story to tell between all these characters. I'm just curious, like, what's going to happen with these characters that are left. You know, Muse was okay as a villain, just kind of exposition away that he took 3 months of Taekwondo, and that's why he's not great, but he's good enough to stand up to Matt for a little bit at least. Obviously, he's using weapons and stuff, so I like that. You know, it's a simple thing, but like whatever, it's not important. Curious, where do Heather and Matt's relationship go? You know, a part of me is like, well, if you love her so much, just tell her. But I understand why he's not telling her. It's the same reason he held out so long for telling Foggy and Karen. But I'm also like, it feels like a repeat of that situation where he didn't tell Foggy and Karen for so long, and it built up this strained relationship. And you can see it echoing with Cherry and Kirsty, I think is her name. You know, that Cherry knows, but then now it's creating this strain in the office where Cherry can't tell Kirsty because he's not like that. It's like the Foggy and Karen thing again. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here with this secret identity plotline. You know, I think as a doctor, she is inclined to be kind of like, you know, Matt with the pastor. You know, it's a confidentiality thing that's instilled in their characters. So I'm curious why he isn't trusting her with that. And even I'd have to rewatch last episode, but you know, even last episode she mentioned she wants to write about the masks and vigilantes. So I think a part of her like would be interested in that side of him. Pre the Muse stuff, obviously. I think she's more traumatized by all the vigilante stuff now, and her saying, you know, he knew my name, Daredevil knew my name. So I think that is kind of putting her on edge. I think the moment has passed basically to reveal himself, but I just curious, like, in a world where he does reveal that he is Daredevil to her, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm again, just where's her character going here? I was half expecting her to die, to be honest, with that cut that she got, and then just the blood loss and everything. Yeah, very interested to see where her character goes from here. So, lastly, let's talk about Cherry and Kirsty. I saw again some discourse online. They're very much nothing characters. They're put in as a supporting cast just to have a supporting cast. I think Kirsty is functional as a character. She has some intriguing elements to her. She has some bite, some bark, I think. But at the end of the day, we're so unfocused on this legal firm aspect of it. I just don't care. You know, and I get it's part of the rewriting and reshoot stuff. So, and by that I mean I think these two characters were basically from the original version of the show. And I've seen some commentary like I do think this show is serviceable for being a Frankenstein of a production, because it is an original property plus some reshoots to like make it more in line with the old Daredevil show. So it's a lot of things that it's juggling, and I think, you know, it was never going to be the greatest show in the world. It was never going to compare to the original series. I'm not saying the original series is the greatest show in the world, but I'm just saying it was never going to live up to that hype. But I think for what it is, for all the reshoots, the characters that they're adding, all the new plot lines, I think it's doing a good job. It's just those two specifically, Kirsty and Cherry, are very much like, what are we doing here? Why do we care about them? Yeah, just the more that you compare back to Foggy and Karen, it's like really just playing those characters again. You know, they're different professions, but you know, Cherry is very Foggy post secret identity reveal. Kirsty is very Karen. You know, just trying to figure out where it's going, but there's no emotional weight because we don't get to spend any time with these two. They're just in the office. They're not involved in anything else going on. And as we delve more and more into the Daredevil part of the show and not just the Matt Murdock part, I was about to say Matt Mercer, so I'm glad I saved it. But the more that we're dealing with the vigilante stuff, and we have to juggle the fact that Fisk is here, and all, there's just so much screen time that we can't spend with Cherry and Kirsty that I don't give a shit about them. Again, Kirsty is interesting enough, but at the end of the day, she's still just like a plot device. Matt is still a lawyer, so we got to have this lawyer for him. Cherry is an ex-cop who knows Matt's secret identity because somebody needs to know Matt's secret identity he needs to talk to. That's all it is. It sucks that they can't be anything more because that's the direction they chose to go with the show. I don't know if I've mentioned this in any other videos. I did see a rumor, or not a rumor, but a crackpot theory, I should say, that Foggy is under witness protection. He's really still alive, and not the rumor, but the it's not a leak either. Basically, with season 2 being in development, there was notification that Deborah Ann Wool and not Ansel Elgort, Eldon Hansen, they're both going to return for season 2. So people were joking at first that he's going to be in flashbacks only or something, but if they are both going to be returning, I could definitely see a world where there is some witness protection program going on and they do kind of backtrack and bring those two characters back, which I would really appreciate because, yeah, just, again, the sort of Frankenstein nature of this show, they did a lot of things well by doing the reshoots, but I think one of the leftover things of the old version was Cherry and Kirsty, and it's just like it doesn't quite work out. So at least they're kind of course correcting. They're finding a way to include them, but I wouldn't be upset if they don't come back for season 2. And I hate to say that, but like, yeah, it's just they're nothing burgers right now. Unless they can be included in a way that's meaningful, I don't really care. I'd be okay with just replacing them with Matt and with Karen and Foggy again. I think that would work out fine. Anyways, logistical stuff aside, nice episode. Some great character stuff, especially from Vanessa. Again, that end part just has me so excited for like where do we go from here? I think it's subtle enough that there's questions about it, but it's also kind of definitive enough that I have my idea about what happened, and I like that. Fight with Muse was fine. Yeah, I'm just again, where are we building to? Every time we get a new episode and we get some questions, like they even question here. I think it was Luca, whatever his name is, the mobster dude. He was like, "What is Fisk's play by going mayor?" So they're asking the right questions, and I'm asking the right questions, which I like. I'm just like, where are we building to? What is his goal at the end of the day? He wants to. We revert back last episode where he's brutalizing Adam, but then here we go. Like, he doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that Daredevil is back, and then we go back to him having having a super spy assassin dude. I had his name, Buck, I think was what he called him. Yeah, it's just, I'm excited where we're building to, and I can't wait to see the full picture. Leave without selling comments below. I'm going to stop talking. What do you guys think of this episode? Where do you think we're going? And I guess we'll see what happens next time. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye.